Assalamu alaikum, inshallah. Today is again Family Saturday night, and we probably do monthly family program for this community. Today we have invited a very high-profile speaker, which is in a way a lot of people do not know who this person is because they're in our masjid community. So I'd like to introduce you. The person you're seeing with me here his name is Waqas, Syed Waqas Syed. He's the founder of Islam Southern California. Okay, that was 15, 20 years ago. He's the man behind the Islam Southern California. So he's the founder of that chapter and it's a Islam chapter is Southern California. It's a chapter project of IGNA. Islamic Center of North America. He has acquired a lot of big position in ICNAS, he's serving ICNA. He was one time the Western ICNA West president also he has been. Currently he is a secretary, Shura Council of Southern California. So this is right now is the biggest organization, or you can say the entity for all the Muslims in Southern California. He's the man behind that, he's running the whole, the position is secretary. So today he's basically came to introduce us the chapter, which is the ICNA has opened a new chapter. It's called Social Justice. Okay, Social Justice. And he is the one again, just like Islam he's the pointer for that. He's the one again leading this chapter in Southern California, or maybe the entire California for that. So he will introduce us to. So what's the difference between the care and the social justice in this ICNA, what role they are playing. We'll talk about that, some of the stuff. But the main reason is we invited him because as you see in this United States, the Muslim faces in the political tapestry of America. And that's basically two senators just appointed as a senator, two sisters, one from Minnesota and one is from Michigan. So we are seeing actually how the Muslims are coming into the political arena in this country. So it's very important to listen to the brother, and we'll all get educated on that. Now it's this, inshallah, this is going to be on live right now. YouTube, our channel is II Space Torrents, so you can subscribe to that channel. And all the program mostly we are giving live from here, and especially Friday khutbah and other program also. Family Saturday night, almost you will find a live program, inshallah. So you just subscribe to the channel. Without any short ado, I'll ask Brother Waqas to give himself a little brief introduction so that the people will know. And then also the subject today is again, the topic is the Muslim engagement in public arena.
My dearest friend and colleague, Brother Hussein. We go back for a long time, 15, 20 years, my friendship with Brother Hussein. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever he has told you about me, may Allah make that true and make me a worthy servant and accept all our work from myself and from him, inshallah. Ameen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. All praises are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the world. Thee alone we worship, Thee alone we ask for help, the sustainer. Peace and blessings be on his beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and all the Salihin that have passed before us. I'd like to start with the verse of Surah Al-Nisa, verse 135, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extols the believers. He reminds them. He says, believers, be upholders of justice and bearers of witness to truth for the sake of Allah, even though it may either be against yourselves or against your parents and kinsmen or the rich or the poor, for Allah is more concerned with their well-being than you are. Do not then follow your own desires, lest you keep away from justice. If you twist or turn away from the truth, know that Allah is well aware of what you do. It is not enough for believers to uphold justice themselves. They are expected to be its standard bearers. They are supposed not merely to practice justice in their own dealings, but to strive for its triumph. They have to do all within their power to ensure that injustice is eradicated and replaced by equity and justice. A true believer is required to be the pillar supporting establishment of right and justice. This is a very, very powerful command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not an option, it is not an advice, it is not a suggestion, it is not a recommendation, it is not something that Muslims are told that if you do it is nice, it is good, you will get ajr, you will get reward. This is a command. There is no ifs and buts. This is a command straight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, how does this fit in our lives? Now I'm going to switch a little bit to the topic of dawah. Dawah is to invite people towards your deen, towards the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The responsibility of dawah, the importance of dawah has always been the same from the time of Adam alayhi salam. However, the methodology has changed. It changes every generation, changes every century, changes every decade. Right after 9/11, the dawah, what was the dawah? It was to tell people that we are not terrorists. Do not be afraid of Muslims. That was a time when we were telling people, we are normal. We are just human beings like you. We are citizens. But slowly it evolved. It evolved to what? The second phase of dawah was when we started partnering with other faiths, partnering with Christians, with Jews, with atheists, partnering for good causes. And as partnership becomes more mature, today we are in a very, very important phase, the changing phase of dawah, which is now leading people towards justice. Now I come back to the verse I just mentioned to you earlier. And as I come back to that verse, there is just one small part of that verse, continuation, that I did not read. I'm going to read now. The testimony of the believers should be solely for the sake of Allah. Their testimony should not be biased in favor of any of the parties concerned. They should not use any opportunity for personal aggrandizement, and they should not seek to please anyone but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here is a caution that Allah is saying, okay, you do justice, but be aware, these are the conditions. You have to be just, even if it is against your own family, it is against your own community. If somebody is wrong, he's from a different community, different religion, you stand with him. Against whom? Against Muslims, against your own family, for the sake of justice. This is the demand, and it's very, very challenging, and it's very serious. It's not easy to stand against your own family, to stand against your own community, your own faith. But justice is of paramount importance, and this is a command straight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no ifs and buts here, no excuses, no reasoning. So as we come to the dawah stage, how is it changing now? How is it evolving? First we were telling people we are not terrorists. Okay, now everybody, mostly people, they understand that Muslims, not all Muslims are terrorists. This has become old. It's been what, 17 years, 16 years now since 9/11. People have understood. More people are dying every day by Christians, by white faith, by people who are keeping hatred against Muslims. Those are the people who are being found to be the biggest killers. So that argument is slowly changing. And as I mentioned, the next phase came of partnership, but now the new phase is of leadership. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Muslims to stand up and show the way. Now, how are Muslims delivering this responsibility? A few facts, just a couple of facts. Tuesday was our midterm elections. 95% of Muslims voted, more than ever before in the history of America. Never had so many Muslims who were eligible to vote voted. 95%. 53% of Muslim voters became more interested in politics since 2016. Before that, they didn't care much. So we almost, the percentage almost doubled. 53%, half doubled. Interested in politics, and get this figure, over 100 Muslim candidates entered the races. Never before in the history of this country, this many Muslims. And how many won? As of yesterday, 57 Muslim candidates won.
Wow.
57. And this includes judges, includes congresspersons, includes state level, includes county level, city level, education board. So many Muslims. Muslim women, Muslim men. One of my friends, he ran for the city council. He didn't win. He came number 3 out of 6 or 7. He came 3rd, and only 2 qualified. So he lost by a few votes. He turned 18 just 3 months ago. His name is Mahmoud Al-Farr. He's from Mission Villa. He has a lot of time to go to reach the 2nd place and maybe 1st place. But this is the enthusiasm. This is amazing. And when the Christians and Jews, they see this, they're amazed. Oh my God, Muslims are here not to take but to give. They are here to contribute to this country. As a Republican, as a Democrat, as an independent, doesn't matter. But they are here to contribute. This is the first time the image is changing. One speech by a Muslim politician does more dawah than what you can do years and years telling people about things. But once they see a Muslim standing there saying, I'm here for you, for your children, for your jobs, for your health, for clean water, clean air, good roads, good economy, for jobs, that's what people want. And who is talking? This is a Muslim talking. And he's talking for everyone. He's talking for justice. So we see around us today so much injustice. There is rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer. Restrictions on corporations is being taken away. So environment is getting destroyed. The new administration in the White House doesn't believe that there is something called climate change. They don't believe that we need our forests to be protected. They don't even understand the international politics. Today, we are the only country in the world that is not part of the Paris climate change. Alhamdulillah, we are in California. At least California is there, but the United States is not. So this is one of the biggest challenges of injustice that we face. Injustice on every level. Injustice against Muslims, injustice against blacks, injustice against the poor people, injustice against working class, injustice against animals, injustice against nature, against climate, against water, air, everything. And now we think about the command that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us. When you see injustice, what do? You stand up, irrespective of anything, you stand up and you lead. And this is the new phase of da'wah. When people look at us, look at the Muslims doing this, subhanAllah, they see, why are you doing this? Is it because it's your hobby? Is it because it's your passion? Because this is the answer that everyone else gives. But no, what does the answer a Muslim gives? Say, I'm doing this because my Creator has commanded me to do this. Those are the verses that I read earlier. So this is a very strong da'wah that today we are seeing. This is a new phase, inshallah, in the work of da'wah, in the work of politics, in the work of fighting for justice. And we own the problems of this country, we own the accomplishments of this country, and this is our country. We are not somebody who criticize this country, we are someone who take criticism. If something is something wrong about this country, we don't talk about it, that this is wrong about this country, this is wrong. We take those criticisms. If somebody is saying, then we take it. Okay, this is my country, tell me, what do I need to fix? This is my country, it's my job to fix it. Now I'll come to the last phase of my topic, and inshallah we'll have a small discussion. Now we understand the concept of justice, we understand what is happening. We understand the concept of dawah, how it is evolving, and what do we do? One of the first and foremost things that we need to do is educate and inform ourselves. We have to stop believing WhatsApp messages, social media. We have to actually go to the source, read newspapers, understand television media, and read opinion pieces, read in-depth articles. Don't read headlines and this happened and that happened and end of story. Don't read crime, read the in-depth articles. Everything is out there. Today, at the fingertips, we get every single viewpoint in the planet. Nothing is hidden. Censorship is gone. That was 20 years ago when one country can censor, but today, nobody has the power to censor. Get educated, read about an issue, understand what the issue is about. Second thing is start representing yourself. Start representing your community. Start representing your masjid. Start representing your faith. Go out there. I'm a Muslim. I'm from Islamic Institute of Torrance. I'm here to represent my community. Where do you do that? You do at interfaith events. You do at political events. You do at social events. Different events, you go and you represent yourself. You don't have to be an expert and know about a lot of politics or this or that. No. Just represent yourself and just quietly observe. See what's happening. Just your presence there means a lot to everybody. See, a Muslim is there representing this masjid or this community. That means a lot. Then, once you're comfortable, next stage comes, you start volunteering. Start volunteering for groups. Start volunteering for political parties. Start volunteering for interfaith associations. Simple volunteering, phone calls maybe, flyers, or just going and talking, bringing some snacks, bringing coffee, water, whatever. Small way, try to volunteer as much as you can. When you are more passionate about volunteering, you can even volunteer for campaigns, political campaigns, nothing wrong with it. They always need volunteers, young volunteers, old volunteers. Then start being part of a group. Be part of a Muslim group. Be part of a social group, a general secular group, political group, social justice group, labor group, environment group, group that is against drunk driving, a group that is against the assault on healthcare, a group that is against reducing minimum wage, or somebody that proposes increasing minimum wage, housing crisis, a group against police brutality, a group against racism. Join a group. And then, now we can proudly say to our young people, everyone, that run for office. If I would have told you, run for office, just 5 days ago, many people would have said, What are you talking about? You know, I'm from Pakistan, I'm from Egypt, I'm from India. You know, my language is this. I'm not very comfortable. Look at these people. 57 people who got elected successfully, beating the most perfect politician in America. Many of them don't speak proper English language. Many of them are new here. They're immigrants. Almost all of their parents were born outside of this country. Very few people are actually born here. So now we can confidently say, run for office. It's not a big deal. I gave you, especially the young people, go and check out Mahmoud Al-Fadl. You just see the passion that he has. And there are so many people. He just turned 18 3 months ago, and he came third. He lost, but he came third. And just I think maybe a few hundred votes, he would have won. He would have become a city councillor. So there are all these examples around us. It's not a big deal anymore. Today, we are in a much, much stronger position. Muslims have raised more funds than any other group, more than even the local Jewish groups. There are so many other places where Muslims have raised even more funds than the Jewish groups, than even regular groups. So we have the money, we have the people, we just need the will just to move forward, and we have the support. Now, these 100 people that I talked about, they are not going to disappear. Even those who lost, they have campaigns, they have staff, they have funds, they have contacts. You go talk to them, and they will help you out. Now you have a whole new generation of people in front of you. So run for office. Now, why I'm talking about running for office? Because it's not one area. Every part of our life is shaped by law, because this is a country of laws. At the city level, at the state level, at the federal level, whether it's education, your college, your scholarship, your loans, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, regulations, everything is regulated. And who makes those laws? People who are elected. Simple as that. So once you're elected, your input is counted. So that's why I'm talking about running for office. And it's very, very easy. You start from city level, then county level, then state. Don't always think about, you have to run for the White House. I mean, you're welcome to think about that, but start with the local level. So this is the last and the final thing that you can do. Now, coming to the organization that I'm part of, the Islamic Circle of North America. Brother Hussein is active in the Islam project. I'm sure you've all heard of the Islam project. It's the Dawah project. Similarly, we have Council for Social Justice. Stands exactly what I just spoke about. Justice for everybody. Any religion doesn't matter. Any race doesn't matter. We want justice. We want equity. There should be no injustice. So, as opposed to many good organizations like MPAC and CARE, who fight for the rights of Muslims, which is very important. Any right of Muslims that is violated, CARE comes and fights. They have attorneys, they have experience, they have media contacts, they come and fight. But ours is different. We fight for justice for everybody. Doesn't matter if it's Muslim or non-Muslim, doesn't matter. And doesn't matter who we are even fighting against. Could be a Muslim, it could be a non-Muslim, doesn't matter. So that is the organization that I'm part of. We have several programs. We have programs against racial injustice. We have programs on civic engagement, immigration reform, combating surveillance. Law enforcement have a lot of surveillance programs on the Muslim community, protecting free speech. When somebody says something against Islam, nobody says anything. But somebody tries to support Muslims, it becomes a big issue. So we try to protect that. Combating Islamophobia and advocating for healthcare. These are some of the programs that we work on. And we have mentorship. Young people are welcome to join us. You can come with meetings. I go meetings all the time. I'll be very happy to go with you. We have meetings all over the county, all over Southern California. We have rallies, we have protests, we have meetings. a lot of things, and you get to meet people and kind of expose yourself and see, get good exposure, good exposure in the field of politics, in the field of civic engagement, and so on. So these are some of the activities that we can engage in Southern California. Alhamdulillah, we have been part of one good initiative recently is to launch HR 869, which is a House bill recognizing the contribution of Muslims. So what this bill has done is it has taken 42 Muslim personalities from the last 200 years, all Americans, who have contributed in politics, in science, in engineering, in medicine, in entertainment, sports, all of them, and it has given a brief history for each of them and said that we as Americans, we recognize that, we acknowledge that, and we respect that, and we are thankful to these people of the Muslim faith. So Congresswoman Judy Chu from Los Angeles, she's the one who introduced it, and we have alhamdulillah close to 30 congresspersons who have co-signed it. So we are looking for more, and our target is to have at least 50 co-sign it, and next year inshallah we are going to present it in the Congress and get it approved. So it will be one of the most strongest bill in favor of Muslims, and once it becomes the bill, we'll inshallah launch a campaign nationwide to promote these people. These are famous people from sportsmen and others, and promote their contribution in the community, saying that Muslims are not always crying and saying we want this, but they have also contributed. So this is another project that we are working on. So inshallah I'll end here, and I'll take any questions, and then inshallah we can discuss how we can maybe start some kind of a social justice program in this masjid and what is going on already here, inshallah. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. Yeah, go ahead.
So theoretically speaking, if I were to ever run for office, would I get sponsorship? What do you call it? What's the right word?
Funds?
Yes, funds.
Of course. Yeah, without funds you can, and people start running for office with $0, and then they end up with hundreds of thousands, probably millions of dollars.
Okay, you've been a Secretary of Shura Council of Southern California right now currently, and you are holding this position at the Economic Council for Social Justice as a coordinator today. And whatever your position, I do not know right now exactly, you can update that. But plus, if you engaging with masajid, and masajid usually has a non-profit status for that. So the people in masajid, especially the serving the masjid and affiliation with masajid, if they join this community with you or social justice platform or something, will that affect the masajid in this way? How we try to address that issue?
Right. So all the things that I just spoke about are issues. You're entirely allowed to talk about issues. Poverty, about immigration, about racism. These are all issues. Churches, masajid, temples, synagogues, they are all allowed to talk anything you want about issues. You're allowed to even say this person is against this issue, this person is for this issue, but our masjid is for this issue. You can do that. The only thing, being a non-profit 501c3, that you cannot do is to tell, vote for this party or vote for this person. That's the only thing you cannot do. And this is what is on the paper, and all the masajid are pretty much following the guidelines, and nobody is even close to violation. But in practical side, I also want to tell you that this law of 501c3 came in 1955, and since 1955 till today there has not been a single prosecution, a single violation. The reason is because this law, nobody likes it. Honestly, none of the churches like it. Republican Party doesn't like it. Democrat Party, they're not very excited about it. Nobody likes the law. The IRS, we don't care. If somebody violates it, okay, big deal. How do they come and they say, okay, on this day, Friday, this imam said vote for this political party, and now you have to pay this fine, or the imam has to go to the jail, or we'll take your 501c3 away. It doesn't work that way. So there is no mechanism for implementing that law. So this is on the practical side.
Are there any Islamic PACs, like super PACs, that would donate to Islamic candidates?
Now, remember one thing, when you're running for office, you're running for everybody. So once you are in the fray, everybody's going to donate to you. You don't need Islamic PACs. So we have Islamic PACs. I think we have Care PAC, and then there is another 2 or 3 PACs. But 90% of your funding is going to come from general people. And there are so many organizations, so many people just waiting to donate to Muslims when they come out into the open. There are Muslims who have spent millions and millions of dollars just in the primaries, and they are willing to even support others. So funding is the least of your problems, but of course for running for office you do need funds. But once you come out there in the open and you convince the people that you can raise funds, and convince the people, the party, that you have a vision. That's all you need to do. And then the party says, okay, you have our endorsement. That's all you need. So once you have their endorsement, that's it. You go out in the open, you start campaigning. There are people who have been campaigning, who won now, Irvine City Council, Farah Khan, very good friend of mine. Just in the living room, she ran her whole campaign, just invited a few people.
So after you've been endorsed by one of the parties, you can just, there's no like certain paperwork you need to fill out, you just start running?
Yeah, no, you have to file the paperwork through the county. Through the county. So if it is a county position or city position, usually it's through the county, and then state, if it is a state, and then federal level. So you have to file. There is paperwork, and people will take care of that. And there are so many volunteers. They will just come to your house and they will help you out.
I think we suggest to start with the city level first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But even before that, I would first suggest to volunteer. Start with volunteering. Start with reading up on news, getting awareness, getting educated, then volunteer. And start representing your masjid in so many different causes around.
How many people go to every week? City has a yeah, meeting. You go? Anybody else go? Huh? Anybody else? No.
I usually go to the school board as well.
Okay, which is good. That's what exactly you start with. You go and people get to know you. Who is this person? You might sometimes ask the question. What's the hearing? They allow you to ask the question. So that's good. So you all start going over there. We'll see how it goes actually.
They have food there?
No.
Who's in college here, in university?
I'm actually taking a political science class at Oakland.
MashaAllah, brother. Future president right here.
So now I have a question for you. What is the number one challenge that you face in the university? The biggest
Like
issue
in terms of like
Parking.
that you wish you could fix it if you were, let's say, mayor, or you were governor or something, you could fix it.
I'm not at a university or college. I'm at a school and
High school.
High school, yeah. The biggest problem I think our school faces is that the Board of Education makes decisions for the students without asking any input for the students.
There you go. So you have already the problem in your mind. So your vision will be there should be a law that gets any decision or policy approved by the governing body, right? There is a student governing body, right? In at least in universities it is there. I'm not sure about high school. If there isn't, then there has to be by law a governing body which has to be established by the students, and every policy should be approved by them. So this is a law, right? You can run, and then you have to find out who makes this law. And then you start working towards that. You go and meet those representatives and tell them, hey, we want this law. And if they agree, fine. If they don't, then come back with 10 people. If they agree, fine. If not, go back and come with 100 people. That's how laws are made. You mobilize people. It's not a big deal to get 100 students show up, at one place and tell them we want this law. And it may take a few months. It may take 1 or 2 years. Get it done. That's how you implement what you want. So that was just one example of a challenge, biggest challenge you face. So similarly, there could be anything else. So you should have that vision to fix those things. And then once you come out and say, hey, this is wrong and I'm trying to fix it, then all the other people will come and support you. Say, here, take my money. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to make phone calls. And then you lead the campaign. So I'd request all of you to sign up with
I
whoever
have a
you
question.
have. Yeah.
Okay, so, because Elektra, right, there's many projects, so what is the main thing between other projects?
Where is the what between?
What's the main differences, like why it has the down, the loop down one? So it's...
Oh, you talking about ICNA itself?
Yeah, because you have some private part.
Yeah, ICNA is like a mother organization, and these are all the projects. Like I say, any company like a Microsoft or Apple has a company, and they have so many projects, like iPhone, the iPad, TV, and things like. So this is ICNA is a mother organization, and they created a lot of projects because you can't have one thing, because they have, like I said, the charity going on, ICNA Relief. They have a helping hand outside United States going everywhere and taking care of the relief work. Inside United States, they have Islam also, which is to provide the dawah or outreach. Other for youth is a YM, YM is for the young Muslims. And there are so many other projects for the Islamic Learning Foundation. That's another
There are all
one.
these logos there.
Yeah, these are some logos are there.
Yeah, I was saying, where is the...
Yeah.
So
I
what's
have
the
a question.
difference?
How long have you been part of ICNA?
I'm sorry?
He knows this. He's just asking for questions. I don't know why.
He wants to get his voice on the camera.
By YM you mean how the political or the legal structure, how is
I am
that
still
different?
alive in Torrance.
Yes.
YM,
Right here.
Inshallah.
I think YM has a legal structure. YM is 501c3 registered.
Just
It is
ask.
registered in New York. And they have a board.
We have a charter law too.
Yeah, they have a
We have
charter,
bylaws.
bylaws and everything.
What's the main reason?
The board is nominated by ICNA.
Bylaws.
Future national park.
I need to read the Bible.
You need to ask more questions. We brought him here,
Inshallah, I'm gonna run for office, so I'm gonna need your support.
You don't got mine.
Absolutely, inshallah.
You're the only one. I got everybody right.
I will be running against Pasta, for the record.
We'll see.
You should start running for governing body, student governing body in your
School board
college.
is something we need
Oh, they're
as
pretty
well.
useless. I'm sorry. They're pretty useless.
Act-
I call out my friends who are in it, they don't do anything.
I'm president.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
That's what all the elected people, that's why you're running for office, because they're useless. You want to kick them out, right?
I think when it comes to like running, instead of running just for Congress, I think a lot of people should start running for school boards so they can make changes in schools.
Yeah.
So that could also inspire Muslims and other like non-Muslims at school to start running. Because
Absolutely.
right now, at our school at Torrance, there's a disconnection between the board and the actual students because students don't know what the board's doing, the board doesn't know what students are doing, and it's just
Yeah.
nonstop.
Right, right.
Shah milegi baro.
Here's one idea. There is one person, my neighbor, his name is Dan Walsh. He ran for school board, he didn't win. But all the Muslims supported him. Why? Because he's one of the founders of MSA in Satellite Island College. He helped found it only like 6 months ago.
Ask if it's a
So everybody ran and helped him. He came number 3.
Guys, pay attention.
Sound like a tattoo.
Don't overspeak each other, please. He's here for you guys.
So yeah, that's how you can do it. And as you said, you want certain run for school board. You don't even have to run now. You just go and talk to them. tell them these are our demands. This is what we want. And if they agree, fine. If not, then you campaign against them. You say, we'll kick you out in the next term.
That's what I've done. I've tried to do, but like,
Yeah.
they're not that afraid unless parents are on board, and parents won't be on board because they just don't.
And the reason for you to run office is not because those people are working. Like, the governing body is useless. That is exactly the reason why you should run for their position, because they are not working. If they were working and they were fine, then you don't have to run. Why should you run if somebody is doing their job? You don't want to kick them out, right?
What if they're lazy in the office?
What was that?
What if they are lazy in the office?
Yeah, you want to kick them out, right? If they're lazy, you want to kick them out.
What if I want to join the budget board?
Yeah,
What's your
is there
stance on budget board?
budget board?
Masjid board?
Yeah, we should make a student budget board. From student, and then we can give our input.
How many people came on Wednesday give the talk here? How
I
many?
know I've given it.
No,
Yeah,
you have
I
not.
did. What?
You did.
I gave it like 2 weeks
Okay.
ago.
Oh, he did.
Okay. So that's basically first we want people to start activate yourself.
Hey, the thing
Okay.
is, bro, we need
Be-
leaders, bro.
yeah.
We have too many followers.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying. Be active everybody here, and then we'll start from there actually.
Actually,
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
You agree on that?
For the food, I think we should put salads.
Every week,
Salads.
nobody's coming into this.
No, but that's what it is. We need leaders. We have too many followers. Like, if we want followers, there's like 9 million people who can do that.
But
It's
that's,
like rare.
but that's
But
why
guys,
we
here's the
use
thing, all of you guys are asking questions about something which you don't like, right? You want to make a change, that's what he's kind of giving a guidance to how to do that. To do that, you need to come and lead, not as a follower.
What I'm saying is, why
So-
he said that school board doesn't matter, it actually does, because what we're teaching kids
I
is
said
like,
it's useless, not doesn't matter.
okay,
Different.
useless, it is useful, because what are we teaching kids in social media? We're teaching kids you should get so many followers, but no one's willing to be a leader. Look at social media. You
I
have,
got followers. So
see, yeah, but people want followers, but they're not willing to be leaders. And that's why we start from the school board and school education to change the mindset of these children so they can actually become the leaders that you want them to become.
Mashallah, there's a future leader right there. He's better than the university guys.
you know,
Fired up. Shots fired.
Yeah,
Let's see if we get their
absolutely.
votes.
Alright, any other
See, the
questions?
first thing you need to learn is speaking, addressing addressing, and everybody should learn to how to speak, and then come and start giving a khutbah here, Friday khutbah. I'll allow everybody to come here and start giving a khutbah, learn it.
Everybody come.
But because the thing is, just once you have a confidence of talking so many people, that's why you're gonna address the issues. If you want to run for a public position or something, so start from. This is a great platform. You got your own place, you got your own people, you got your own audience. You don't need to worry about address the issue, and reward is from Allah anyway. So you have an excellent position right now because Allah gave this facility. You use it.
and so I believe.
And create some more programs which you come up with that. You make your own youth board also. We just talked to Danish also about that. He's gonna help you out, and you guys can take more time and just start developing programs.
Until everybody come, give a hug tomorrow.
Actually, so next week is actually it's actually the race. Next Wednesday.
And learn about this ICNA social justice is important.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
You see, important this project. You see, this project is very important. Just like we had a Wise Plum project, I'm just focusing on Dawah myself. This is a new opportunity. We didn't have this project before. The beauty of this project is that they're not just only for Muslim, for every American. That's the whole thing is. So you are reaching out to all Americans through this project actually. So this is a very great opportunity. From this project, you can go anywhere in any office you can hold actually. And it's going to be supported by all people, within Muslim community, outside Muslim community. So I think I would suggest to look into that. Talk to Brother Waqas more about that whenever you have time. He might get a brief view. Maybe we invite him for one more program or some program which especially focused to youth. Get together all the youth and then we invite him and now you can just come up with some idea or projects or something, work with him anyway.
We have people, we have donors, we have connections who have helped people raise funds in not thousands, but not even hundreds thousands, but in millions. There are people within our connections who have raised a lot of money. So don't worry about money. Once you're in there, we can connect you to a lot of people, and you can raise funds. But since you are in YM, you get special preference in all these entities that you see here. So don't lose that great opportunity. Don't ignore that. If you are in YM, you are already ahead of the line, because we give preference to people who are in YM. So don't lose that opportunity, and I want all of you to come once, because YM is not there for everywhere. I mean, after university, it's over.
First time.
Right? So
It's actually
before,
over when you're married.
but before you come out of it, you must join these organizations. This is where you can continue your brotherhood. You can continue to have your friends and work with them. Don't you want this group to continue working together? You know, even if you're a little old. Because if you don't join anywhere, you're gone. After a while, none of you, I can guarantee, none of you will see each other as much as you want to. Everybody will be busy in work, job, traveling here and there. But I know so many YM people, when they have joined here, they have maintained their circle, and they are still
At
working.
least secretary, for example.
What was that?
At least there is an example of that. At least.
Anis vibe.
Anis, yeah.
Yeah, he's married.
Anis and
Rehan.
Rehan,
So many people, bro.
Yasser.
But they are still working with ICNA in some capacity.
The job I'm referring to.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's now part of ICNA, so he still is going to be working for the rest of his life in different projects. He and his wife also, everybody.
Yeah, she's sister.
So is this international?
No, I mean, we have partner organizations internationally who we would work with, but this is all strictly United States and Canada.
Wait, so why do we have a chapter in Canada?
So ICNA, United States and Canada is the single president?
No, separate.
Separate president.
Separate, but that is also called ICNA. Similar logo. It used to be one organization, but after 9/11 we split.
Which is,
I don't know. I think Brother Hussain will give an answer to that. How can he join ICNA for social justice? How can he get?
well, the thing is this, you can join any of the chapters as a volunteer first. Okay,
But
let's say
how?
why. Okay.
Um,
So the thing is this, you're gonna be, let's say whenever there is a program for ICNA or something, or like I said, for Islam, when we send out the email, you come out in a way. For this project, if there is a project over there, they will advertise the project. They need the volunteers, so we can mention that, or Waqas will mention to us that he need a volunteer for something. Then you can use your time for that.
One quick request, one appeal. Excuse me, just 1 second. We need some intern help in ICNA Council for Social Justice. Anybody is interested?
When?
It's online. It's small projects. Right now we are working on a database of Muslim elected officials. We need help
It's
in
interesting.
somebody who can
Do it.
kind of enter that data. So it's going to be the largest database.
Okay, so is it online?
Yeah, it's all online. You can do it from home.
You can give them their number, or he can share the number.
Also, one more important thing I forgot to tell you is that we have an official arrangement with all the Senate and Congress offices from California. So any of you would like to volunteer, 15 days, 2 months, 3 months, summer, 1 year, we will facilitate everything. We have with the both Senate offices. They have said if somebody comes from your organization, we are not even going to do a background check. Any brother, any sister is welcome anytime. So you can sign up for that also. But for now, I mean, if you can give me your contact information, maybe start some address, sign up sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it to me, and we need some help. So, brother, if you also can give your information, we'd like to utilize.
刚这粉丝啊在。
Oh,
Jazakallah.